So what's going on, guys? My name is MrDalekJD, and I think one thing that we're all very excited to hear more about is the new Battle Royale mode coming to Black Ops 4 called Blackout. In this video, we're going to be discussing some interesting new things which have come from Treyarch themselves via some new interviews, as well as some new map locations discovered and secrets within the Blackout trailer. It's going to be quite a long video, but a really interesting one at that. So if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to drop a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well with notifications turned on, so you don't miss another upload, as there is going to be a lot on the channel, especially considering E3 is next week. Let's jump into the first thing, being that there are secret coordinates in the Blackout trailer which none of us noticed before. Big shout out to Glitching Queen as well as OGPN Glide for originally pointing this out and showing to her that within the Blackout trailer there is a set of coordinates that are displayed on the bottom right of the video towards the end, which pinpoint real life locations which could be a big tease towards some of the multiplayer maps that we are going to see within Blackout. This first coordinate takes us very close to the Hollywood Hills in Los Angeles, California. And in terms of Black Ops multiplayer maps that we've seen located literally in the Hollywood Hills, it is Black Ops 2's Raid. Here's a location that these coordinates point to on Google Maps, and then here is how close it is to the Hollywood Hills. It's so close that it's obviously a reference to, of course, Raid. And a lot of people have already speculated from the moment we saw the Blackout trailer that the shape of this particular area on the Blackout map resembles the overview of Raid down to a T. At this point, I don't think there's any way to disprove the fact that pretty much all of us believe that that portion of the map is Raid, and these coordinates seem to point towards it. The next coordinates takes us to a piece of water just by the edge of a port in Singapore, and that relates to another Black Ops 2 multiplayer map being Cargo, which is set in the Keppel terminal on the port of Singapore. If you zoom in onto the part of the port, you can clearly see there is a lot of cargo hangars and things which look very similar to what you'd see in the multiplayer map Cargo. So there's no doubt in my mind that this is a reference to Cargo. The next coordinates pinpoint us just south of Area 51, and of course, as soon as you hear that, you know that we're talking about Nuketown. It's already been confirmed by an Activision press release that we are going to be seeing Nuketown as either seeing the entirety of Nuketown or part of Nuketown within the Battle Royale map, and this coordinates point us just near it. The official description in the game for Nuketown is that it's located in the Nevada National Security Site, and as we know from the storyline of Zombies as well, this Nuketown is of course near Area 51. We have Area 51 as a small playable area on the map Moon, and the rockets hit Area 51 as well as hitting Nuketown. We know that from the storyline, so it's pretty much a given that these coordinates are definitely pointing towards Nuketown. And then for the final coordinates, there was a little bit of confusion, but I'm pretty sure, but these final coordinates point to a part of Yemen. So of course, straight away you'd think of the multiplayer map Yemen, but I'm pretty sure that this is actually pointing to the Black Ops 2 multiplayer map Turbine. Now, it's very clear from looking at the Blackout map itself in the trailer that there is a portion of the map which contains a bunch of turbines, and Turbine, the Black Ops 2 map, is the only multiplayer map we've seen to feature so many different turbines. There's also this sort of rocket or plane wreckage, and the shape of it very much is resembled within the Blackout map as well. I can possibly see this being any other multiplayer map, especially when you consider all these different turbines. So with this sort of dry rocky land, this could be a great location to be part of the Blackout map, and it seems very much at this point that Turbine is going to be part of that. So there we go. Treyarch wouldn't put coordinates in a trailer for no reason, and after a little bit of discovery, they've been able to give us the hints towards what multiplayer maps we could see within Blackout. Now, the press release they've released said Nuketown and Firing Range, so we've got all those multiplayer maps that I've just mentioned as well as Firing Range, so that's pretty awesome. And the other day I made a video also talking about the possibility of Transit also being featured in the Blackout map. You can check that out as an interactive card on screen now. The next thing I want to discuss is about the map size, and we don't really know anything of this, but there was an article posted by a website called Newsweek.com which had an interview over with Dan Bunting at Treyarch, and they have a lot of details specifically about the testing of Blackout, and that they're using a test map with a big map limit. It is crazy. They still haven't confirmed a player count, but they're testing out some truly mammoth maps to push their developer tools to the absolute limits. And Bunting says they've invested a huge amount of development energy into the tools, and they can basically paint terrain down in massive spaces. And they've had a test map of 12 miles by 12 miles as the biggest space they were able to build and run, which is gigantic. That's 144 square miles of playable game space. And to put that into perspective, Fortnite is about 1 square mile. Treyarch have realistically been able to have the game running with a map 144 times the size of Fortnite's map. Now, I wouldn't take this as verbatim as the map size, as Treyarch are especially committed to maintaining a respectable frame rate with Blackout. But developing Blackout also included beefing up some back-end technology, and they said they're always committed to 60 FPS for multiplayer experiences. On top of that, when you have large spaces, you also have to have better streaming technology, so they've invested in that to make sure the experience runs at 60 frames a second. At its core, Blackout mode is just one of several multiplayer experiences within Black Ops 4 that's meant to emphasize what Dan Bunting sees as a dominant trend in gaming that favors multiplayer experiences over single player ones, and multiplayer experiences require ongoing support. Treyarch continued work on Black Ops 3 for years after development, but didn't do much to call attention to the regular updates born from constantly monitoring player behavior and data analysis. But the way that we engage with Black Ops 3 over its several years of life informed how Black Ops 4 was designed. Treyarch have designed Black Ops 4 to be a title that sees frequent updates and a steady injection of new content. Dan Bunting understands it needs to be open-ended in order to stay fresh and exciting. An experience like this has to be sandboxy and has to allow lots of room for those impromptu ad hoc moments that you can never get again. Each game is a different story, and they want to make a game that's going to deliver on that promise of letting players play with their friends in more ways than ever before. So it's all really exciting and good stuff from here. Now, aside from that, Treyarch have had another interview with a website called WCCFtech.com, and how Battle Royale mode has been a new challenge which prompted Treyarch to beef up everything across all of their modes. And with Blackout being a map 1,000 times larger than the usual Call of Duty map, it's only natural to try and imagine how this affects gameplay. And that's where this interview helps give us a little bit more light on that. And Treyarch says it's been a different and new challenge, but as they've been working on it, they've had a lot of ideas and cross-pollination between different parts of the game. They've brought stuff to multiplayer that they learned while making Blackout, and vice versa. Investment in the weapon system is important, but especially in a survival mode like Blackout that's played on a massive scale, you have to think about how the weapons perform in a different way. Bullet drop and bullet travel time are things they've never had to consider in COD before, but in terms of the actual core combat loop, everything you love and know about that type Black Ops gunplay and the feel of movement is just as relevant in Blackout as it is in competitive multiplayer. Of course, it's going to be quite important when it comes to using the weapons, when it comes to the different types of bullet recoil and bullet drop, and they noticed that when you introduce randomness in the game, such as having random recoil patterns, it just leads to frustration. When a gun has a recoil pattern that's completely random, you feel like, I missed that guy, but why? And that's frustrating because you can't really learn from that mistake to get better. So they want all the systems in Black Ops 4 to be learnable so players can master them and want the journey to mastery to feel rewarding. The interview then goes on to basically talk about the strengthening of the specialist role to foster teamwork and to hopefully combat toxicity in multiplayer, but that's not what you guys really want to hear. But interestingly enough, this website said at the end of the article that the Blackout mode should be demonstrated for the first time at E3 2018 next week. Now, there's been no announcements by Activision or Treyarch at all on if this is going to happen, but of course, E3 is right around the corner, and usually Call of Duty save E3 for their multiplayer reveals. Last year was where World War II's multiplayer trailer was revealed during the PlayStation conference. There was also a little bit of discussion about it, and then multiplayer gameplay was seen for the first time. Black Ops 3 was the same deal. David Vonderhaar was on stage as well as Mark Lamier to discuss Black Ops 3. They showed off a bit of a campaign mission as well as showed the multiplayer reveal trailer, and then of course multiplayer hands-on was at E3. But of course Black Ops 4 is really changing things up this year. We've already had the multiplayer reveal with gameplay, and we've already had 3 zombies trailers. So what is there still to be shown and revealed if there's not already been revealed at the reveal event? And it does make sense for Blackout to be demonstrated at E3. That means on stage during the PlayStation conference, there could possibly be someone from Treyarch either talking more about Blackout, a new trailer for Blackout, or like this article suggests, seeing Blackout being demonstrated for the first time. That would be absolutely wild because, I mean, this is not confirmed in any way, but just from my own suspicions, it sounds like Blackout is a massive, massive challenge, and I think it's something which Treyarch would want to keep under wraps for as long as possible, so that there's the surprise element, just like when it comes to gameplay for zombies, but also the fact that it might not even be in a state ready to be shown yet because it is such a huge task and the actual player count's not been confirmed yet. So how would the game be in a state to be showable yet? I don't know. But anyway, I guess we'll only have to wait and see. E3 is literally a week away from the time we're making this video, so it's really exciting times. E3 is going to have Black Ops 4 because we know Black Ops 4 is going to be playable on the show floor as well as being playable at COD World League in San Diego. So there's a lot of opportunities for you guys to be randomly invited by Activision to play Black Ops 4 multiplayer either at E3 or at the COD World League. But let me know what you think of all of this that's been spoken about in the video. If you guys enjoyed, then make sure to drop it a big fat thumbs up as I'd appreciate that. Again, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss any future uploads from myself. All my social media links are down below in the description, including my Twitter, my Facebook, and my Instagram, which you can follow to keep yourself up to date on my stuff, as well as just subscribing. If you want to go that extra mile, that would be really awesome. And Twitter is probably the best way for you guys to see my videos in case YouTube has just decided to mess up. But on your screen now, you're seeing my latest videos as well as that big juicy subscribe button. Maybe consider clicking one or all of those videos, whatever you want to do. I'm not fussed, but thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time.